get it. Let's get it. All right, y'all, let's get it. Hey, man, welcome to the Throwdown, man, episode 178. I'm your host, Ben Brandon from the block. Everyone to come, man. Here with another episode, man. Hey, man, we're going to talk about the divisional round predictions. We're going to talk about some games that we didn't talk about Monday. And, yeah, man, let's go. We're going to have a great show. Yo, Champ, what's going on?
Good to be back, man. Almost. I mean, hey, things got real nasty on Monday, courtesy of Relief. And, and yours truly, shout out to Kieran, but yeah, man, can't wait. Always a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor. Hopefully this ain't goodbye to TikTok. This ain't the goodbye to TikTok show, but, if it is, hey, it's been fun, man. It's fun.
For sure. Yo, Broad, what's going on? Not Broad, BRF, what's going on, man?
Boy, I'm a bit on the darker end of the spectrum when it comes to that, but anyway. But nah, man. Life is good. Can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Every day you get to wake up and you're still above ground is always a good day, regardless of what's going on in the world. Shout out to all you fellows. It's definitely a pleasure being back on here on the Throwdown with you, Brandon. Yeah, man. I heard I missed quite some fireworks Monday, so I'm ready to hop in and put my 2 cents in the world of football because I'm definitely ready for this weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yo, Karen, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Happy 2025. I don't know if I said that last time, but yeah, man, I'm excited for divisional round. I think it's gonna be divisional round.
Yeah, for sure. And
but
sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
And last but certainly not least, hey, Jabbar, what's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Happy New Year. I think this may be my first time appearing on the Throwdown podcast this year, man. Glad to be here with y'all, discussing football, man.
Oh, yeah.
And looking forward to this show.
All right, y'all. Hey, man, let's get straight into it, man. So, Monday, the Chargers did lost. Herbert had a bad game, all this type stuff, man. I know Champ talked about it. Kieran did too. I just want to hear thoughts on BRF and Jabari. Jabari in the group chat was going crazy over Herbert, man, like going crazy, going bananas. But Jabari, I'm gonna start with you, man. What's your thoughts on Justin Herbert's performance, man?
I think Justin Herbert didn't have a good day at the office. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert just had, a bad playoff performance. Now, was there some drop balls out there? Absolutely. And I do think at times, man, I think he has a solid group of receivers. I like how Quentin Johnson kind of took a step forward going into his second year, considering he had a bad rookie season. I like Lad McConkey. He's definitely played pretty solid this year as well. But I just think at times, man, when you have a veteran quarterback like a Justin Herbert who's kind of ready to take that next step, and you have a young group of receivers, at times it's gonna be a little bit of miscommunication on things. But I just think, man, at times, bro, like you as Justin Herbert, bro, like you just gotta produce, man. At some point, we gotta produce and we gotta see some things. We gotta see the results. And I think in this particular game against the Houston Texans, man, the LA Chargers, they actually had some opportunities to kind of really take advantage in the first half and really get a decent lead. You know what I mean? Like the running game was kind of stagnant. I wish they would be a little bit more persistent with the running game. Considering who they got, I feel like they kind of put a little bit more invested into that aspect of their offense, this past offseason, getting J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. So maybe they probably should have put a little more emphasis on the to kind of help open up the passing game. But unfortunately, man, like the Houston Texans just caught fire in the second half. and the turnovers just kind of kept steamrolling down from there with Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers offense. So hopefully Justin Herbert kind of gets it together in the future. But hey, man, you got to show up, bro. You one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Sure. BRF, man, what's your thoughts?
Well, first off, I was kind of peeping through IG and all this other stuff. I didn't realize Rex Ryan had said what he said about the Houston Texans as far as them being a bye week for the LA Chargers. So I gotta say, feel really good smoking on that Rex Ryan bye week pack. I gotta say, it feels good smoking on that pack right now because the Houston Texans, man, did they underachieve in the regular season a little bit? They did. I mean, they were still able to, I mean, it's the AFC South. I mean, honestly, everybody picked them to like win the division in the preseason, and they held up their end of the bargain winning the division. And the way they struggled and the Chargers kind of caught fire. I understand. Heck, I picked the Chargers to win the game because I just felt like, you know, it was a tale of two teams. Like the Chargers were coming in hot, playing good ball, playing good football, both sides of the ball, and Houston was just struggling. And it's almost like going into that game. I mean, it's like the first quarter and a half, you just felt like you were waiting to see which way it was gonna break towards the other team. Because I mean, I say like first quarter and a half, it was a good game, and you waiting for somebody to, you know, waiting for someone to make the big play to kind of wake everybody up and kind of take the momentum. And then Houston just, wow. Like that was one of the more dominant performances I've seen in the wild card round in a good minute. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball. It's like, it's one of those games, and you see it every so often in football, is like when a team starts to roll and they feel it, the defensive coordinator can call anything and it works. He could call blitzes. He could call cover 2. He could call cover 0. He could call zone. Well, like whatever he called, it was one of those games. It's like no matter what the DC called, it worked, and you could just see. You can see the D'Amico Ryans effect in that defense, because if you remember D'Amico Ryans and how he played ball, like when he went to Bama and playing for the Houston Texans, like his premier years, like you could just see the aggressiveness, you could see the ferociousness that they just brought on every down, and like that drive before Justin Herbert threw that touchdown to Ladd McConkey, I ain't seen a quarterback get hit that hard on back-to-back plays. Like And then it's not like the Chargers have a bad. It's not like the Chargers have a bad offensive line. They have a good offensive line. It's just one of those moments where it's like when your defense gets hot, it's like nothing the offensive line can do to stop them. I'll say this about Justin Herbert. I'm pretty sure he's been probably getting to work this week, because I feel like, and understandably so, and deserve it to a point, because when you're at that, because I've said myself that I think Justin Herbert might be the best quarterback outside of the, if you want to call it the current Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in the league, as far as like the top 4. Like if the top 4 is inarguably Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Joe Burrow, I mean, you could make a case Justin Herbert could be the best outside of that top 4. So at some point, the results have to show up. I feel like when you're at that upper echelon, at some point you have to be able to kind of have to be able to lift your teammates up and lift those wide receivers up, because you know you got a young core. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for Ladd McConkey having the game he had, because a lot of Justin Herbert's numbers were basically Ladd McConkey. I mean, he went 9 for 197 and a touchdown. Like the dude just played out of his mind. Like if it wasn't for his numbers, ain't no telling what Justin Herbert's stat line would have looked like coming into that game. So he's got a young core of receivers, but I feel like at some point, the talent that he is, he's got to be able to he's got to be able to carry through and lift them up, and he's got to be able to do something with him at this point, because I don't want to label him a choker yet, but at the same time, it's like, your first game was that Jacksonville game, and we all remember what happened with that Jacksonville game. Was it your fault completely? No, because that defense laid the egg in that second half. But This game was just a terrible performance on your part. The inaccuracy. You threw 3 picks all year. You threw 4 in this game. So it was just a horrible performance on his part. And he's, like I said, I personally think he's the best outside of the top 4. But at the same time, if you want that moniker, you're gonna have to live up to it. So he's gonna have to step up in the playoffs, or that playoff choker label is gonna hit him hard if he keeps having performances like this. So, but yeah, all in all, that was just shout out to Houston for understanding the game plan, sticking with it, and just basically giving Justin Herbert just all types of fits, throwing him off key, throwing him off his rhythm, and just they lit him up. I mean, they ate him for breakfast. I mean, it's just nothing more you can say about that. Houston showed up and showed out, and shout out to them for playing a damn near perfect game.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
For sure. Yeah.
Hello. What's up? What did he say?
What do you say? What he said?
You got anything? You got anything to add on with
No.
the Chargers?
Yeah, basically what I said before. Like I said before. Like the reason why I gave Lamar Jackson like so much criticism is like second game in the playoffs against the Tennessee Titans, because you lost to an inferior team. Like I understand. Like the Texans were an inferior team to the Chargers, and they like Justin Herbert played terrible. Like I don't want to call him a choker yet, because like Lamar after those like games have had good playoff games, so I'm not ready to call him a choker yet. It's his second game in the playoffs. It's not like his fifth. Like so.
Right. Okay. Champ, you good?
Yeah, man. Like I said on Monday, man, I always go in a different direction, especially with you when you're playing your second playoff game, man. This is only your second. This is the first good coach. This is the first hell of a coach that you've had, first year in the system. So it's not that I'm giving them a pass. I'm just not ready to put that label as playoff choker yet. When you get past the third game and the fourth game, that's when you start getting into those labels. And remember, like I said on Monday, we didn't start labeling Peyton Manning a playoff choker until after he lost 41-0 to the New York Jets in his third playoff game. That's when we start asking ourselves a lot of questions about him. So let's keep that same energy with Justin Herbert. This is only his second game. Granted, he played terrible. He deserves a lot of criticism, because when you get paid that money, you're getting paid to be a problem solver. Just like Trey said on Trick's podcast. So yeah, you get paid. Everybody's expecting you to have that money and be a money ball player. So you're gonna have to make chicken salad out of chicken crap. So hey, this is only his second playoff game. This is only his first one under Jim Harbaugh. But beware, in a great word, some mystical. Because you start doing that, you got about 1 or 2 more times to come out here and lay an egg, and it's gonna crack. So.
Right. All right, y'all, man. There's another quarterback that we gotta talk about, man. Rams and Vikings game, man. Sam Darnold. Oh my God, he did not play good at all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He did not play good at all. He had 245 yards with a touchdown with 1 interception. TJ Hawkinson was the leader receiver for 64 yards. But the Rams were just killing the Vikings left and right, man. I just want to hear, man, what's y'all thoughts about this game? Whoever want to start.
I'll start.
Y'all don't mind? Because I got a real good soliloquy I'm going to throw at this. Shout out to Stephen A.
Go ahead, champ.
This is the Vikings. It seems like every time they revive a quarterback's career, whether that be Case Keenum, whether that be Jeff George, whether that be Brad Johnson, whether that be Rich Gannon, just to name a few.
Randall Cunningham, yeah.
They always manage to go down at the perfect time in the perfect way. And then the magic carpet ride is over after that. And the thing is, you got to ask yourself this. Was this really him laying an egg? Or is this just the real him? They can no longer mask him anymore. I mean, There's a reason why. Hey, there's a reason why New York got rid of you. There's a reason why Carolina got rid of you. There's a reason why you're no longer back up there. There's a reason why it was a quarterback controversy between you and J.J. McCarthy at the beginning of the season, up until he got hurt. So, yeah, you got to ask yourself, did you really get exposed, or is this just the real you at a certain point? And look, if you melt it down like this with a plethora of talent around you, when you for a situation, you just can't do it much better than that. All pro wide receiver in Justin Jefferson, the best wide out in the league. Jordan Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Then you got a top 10 offensive line. Then Brian Flores running that defense. You cannot ask for a better situation than that. And you cannot lay a flat out egg. I mean, laid a flat out egg. And it's just like, okay, is this really just a mishap, or is this just the real you that we seen in New York? Is it the real you? And for teams that is looking at this season saying that, okay, now we've seen what he can do, he deserves a contract. Look, be careful with paying these quarterbacks off of one season. Be very careful with paying these quarterbacks off of one season. Look what happened to Matt Castle. We ain't forgot. Look what happened with Rob Johnson. He played that good season down there in Miami. Not Miami, down there in Jacksonville.
Matt Sharp.
They got paid up there. Matt Sharp, I can give him some credit. He took his team to the playoff, made a few Pro Bowls.
Sharp was okay. Sharp was okay.
Yeah, because you could get a hell of a lot worse. Scott Mitchell. So be very, very careful about paying these quarterbacks all because you're thirsty. Don't be like I said, man. Don't be thirsty. You can get a quarter. Look, there's been way too many teams that have won Super Bowls with mediocre quarterbacks. Matter of fact, there's more teams that have won Super Bowls with mediocre quarterbacks than they have powerhouse teams. Powerhouse teams usually have dynasties. Let's just keep it all the way real. Powerhouse teams usually have dynasties with their Hall of Fame quarterback, with their legacy quarterback. That's why I ain't that many of. So be very careful, buyer beware. Especially if the Jets are thinking about bringing him back and thinking he's going to be the answer up there.
He will not go back to the
You never know. And look, I'm gonna just be real with you. Look, you'll go back to a bad job. They offer you a lot of damn money.
Yeah, but
you will go back to a bad job if they offer you a hell of a lot of money to put up with that BS.
They let that man see ghosts, bro. They broke that man.
So, especially now that you got that you got a good amount of talent around you, but just because you put spoiled milk in the refrigerator doesn't mean it's going to be fresh when you take it out. So, hey, buyer beware, because you don't always get what you pay for. I'm going to leave it at that.
For sure. Go ahead, Karen.
I mean, here's the thing. The only two teams that they lost to were the Lions and Vikings. The Lions and Rams all year. First of all, like the Rams defensive line doesn't get enough credit. It's really taking a stride. Jared Verse is like, that dude is a monster. Kobe Turner,
yeah, he is.
Other guy's name. But I mean, we saw in the last matchup, right? I said that if the Vikings go up against an elite defensive line, they would crumble because I think Christian Darrisaw not being there would definitely hurt them. And Sam Darnold has a tendency to hold on to the ball too long, and look what happened. 9 sacks. And it wasn't even like some of those sacks, I was like, damn, he's going to get himself hurt. Just throw the ball away. But, I mean, here's my thing, right? I understand that, J.J. McCarthy's the first-round pick, but, J.J. McCarthy has a way different play style than Sam Darnold. He likes to, he doesn't really push the ball down the field. He never really did that in Michigan. My one worry is that is JJ McCarthy going to give you the ceiling of this season's Sam Darnold? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I think the Vikings shouldn't be that mad that they lost. They weren't even expected to win 8 games this year, and they won 14, which is crazy. But I think the Vikings are in good hands as long as JJ McCarthy is a good serviceable quarterback. So, yeah. By the way,
I just want to say,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Karen.
I was going to say Matthew Stafford's still that guy, old man Stafford. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. All I just want to. Donald, I'm sorry, bro. He had a Geno Smith type run, bro. Remember when Geno Smith played great that week? When he first was the starter, it's the same as that thing, bro. The same as that thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But go ahead, Jabbar.
Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Sam Darnold's on his 3rd team. However, I do believe, look, man, he had a good season. Obviously, him having a good season, there's still somewhat of a future for Sam Darnold in the NFL. Whether that him still serving as a serviceable backup, as a bridge guy quarterback in case, an emergency absence, or maybe some other team wants to invest in a Sam Darnold, right? Because here's my thing, man. We could say, yeah, teams are able to manage and able to win with mediocre quarterbacks before. But look, man, it takes a lot of good things, a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of things in order for that to actually gel and really come into fruition. Franchise quarterbacks do not grow on trees. You know what I mean? We still haven't seen JJ McCarthy, right? And not everybody who's this 1st-round draft pick and who's expected and anticipated to, have instant success, right? Not everybody has a CJ Stroud story. Not everybody, has, I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this. Not everybody goes 13-3 like Dak Prescott. Not everybody. Seriously though, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody sits behind a Hall of Fame quarterback in Brett Favre and cooks and becomes Aaron Rodgers. Not everybody sits behind an Alex Smith for one season and becomes a Patrick Mahomes. So I just think that the Minnesota Vikings should take in consideration, hey, Sam Darnold, although we invested this 1st-round draft pick in JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold is still an option. You know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold is a former 1st-round draft pick. Sam Darnold is older now. Sam Darnold is more mature now. He's more mature as a quarterback psychologically, his IQ, right? So, and Sam Darnold, man, he's still a talented quarterback. He's still got, a really good arm and everything like that. But he just had a bad playoff performance, and considering the kind of weapons that he has around him, man, that's nothing to to sneeze at. So, but, hey, it is what it is. I didn't anticipate a outstanding playoff performance from a quarterback who's kind of pretty much finally having his breakout season. What, his 7th year in the league, 6th, 7th year in the league. So, yeah,
right, for sure. Go ahead, BRF.
This game validated why when the question was proposed of if you're the Minnesota Vikings, what do you do with the Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy that situation they have at quarterback? I said for one, do not let JJ McCarthy go, and then